I've never seen children.
Hey y'all. So this your girl Kiara Shanice, and I have Emily Iman here. Hi. And I also have Keva Williams.
Hello.
Alright. We are all teachers that are currently working and living in the country of Kuwait. So we're just going to be talking about kind of our different experiences. Emily is a mother of 2. She's also married. So she had a different onboarding process than Keva and myself. And Keva has also been here for 6 years. So she came pre-COVID versus myself and Emily, who came post-COVID. So we're just going to talk about that a little bit and just, you know, and dive into the conversation from there. First things first, Emily, how was your onboarding process like with having a family? How did that work?
Hey. Excuse me.
Go.
So it was a challenging process, especially with documentation and just prepping our entire lives to move abroad, selling our house and cars and everything, and then moving. Getting those papers done, well, with the Kuwaiti embassy, it wasn't as bad as with the Canadian embassy and all that comes with processing the paper. So it took us, I'd say, 2 to 3 good months just to get everything done. And when we finally got everything done, we left like the very next day and got here. Okay, so before getting here, I'd heard like a ton of things about Kuwait, and the one thing I heard about from one of your videos was with you and Michael was the airport experience. Ooh, that was a stressful experience. Mostly because our bags got, I think 4 of our bags got lost. We were there for hours just sitting there and trying to figure out where do we get our bags from, how do we, yeah, it was a nightmare that night, and the kids were tired and everything, and we still had to go get our phone lines. So we were there, I think we got in about 9 p.m. We were there till way past midnight. We didn't get to our apartment. So yeah,
wow,
that was the major part.
Okay, so in regards to coming with the 2 kids, like, was their process with paperwork and stuff the same as yours, or did you have to do anything different?
They had to get visas, visitor visas for the kids.
Okay.
And just so you know, women can't sponsor kids here, so I couldn't do anything for them. Shane had to.
So your husband had to do everything for them.
Do that whole process of getting their visas. Their visas were pretty quick. Ours took a long time to get the work visas done, mostly because of the whole slow passport processing and then the papers and all the paperwork and certification and things like that. So yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, so Keva, you came pre-COVID. So like, what did that look like? Like, how was your onboarding process?
Well, for me, it was a bit different because I'm not American. I know I sound American, but I'm not. I'm from the Bahamas. Stamp putting. I had to get my work visa and my stamp put in my passport before I could even travel to Kuwait. And until that was done, I couldn't leave Guatemala.
Okay, and do you know how long your process was?
Once I made the appointment and got to Mexico, got it all put in, and came back, it was about 3 weeks.
Okay. So in other words, I'm sorry. So it seems like you had a shorter process than both of us, because like my process took altogether maybe about 3 months as well. Like, so I guess it's about the same with having kids and not having kids. So now Emily has decided it is what, your 60 days?
Yeah.
She's approaching her 60 days, and she has actually decided to leave. So I know you don't, it's personal, you know, for some things, but kind of shed some light as to if you can, what kind of led up to you leaving?
First of all, it was mainly, I think, changing my environment from moving from Canada to here, and the kids kept getting sick. I don't know why, because of the school year, and I think this was their first year back in class fully,
After
right?
COVID, okay.
After COVID, and it just was so bad because it was almost recycling all kinds of colds and the flu and random things just kept happening, and because of my contract I could not spend time with my kids by myself, so I was forced to get a nanny basically to take care of my kids when I'm not there, which to me is something that I'm not used to doing because I'm just that kind of parent. I have in the past quit jobs just to be with my kids and try to raise them myself. So it was kind of unusual coming here and then finding out I would have to get a full-time nanny, and they would have to do after school care, and the nanny would pick them up or whatever, and I just couldn't do that. And then I started getting sick, and I think it was just accidental, just going to the hospital and finding out my blood pressure was through the roof.
Oh boy.
Because they were just checking me for a cold basically. I thought I just got a cold from my kids, and I got there and the doctor's like, what is going on with your blood pressure? Are you on medication? And I was like, no, is something wrong? And he's like, this is crazy, you need to see a specialist. So I had to go see a specialist, and it eventually just became an issue of my blood pressure is really bad. And because it's something that occurs in my family on my dad's side, we've had lots of aunts and uncles, and my dad himself passed away with complications from high blood pressure too. Yeah. So let's just say I don't want to die and abandon my kids. Right. Okay, just went dark there. But no, I feel like they need a more stable environment, my kids that is, and it's not stable enough for me, especially because I can't spend time with my kids the way I want to, or have the day off school to go take care of my kids, and I get a deduction on my salary. So it's a lot, so okay. I don't want to do that.
Okay, well I get that, and that makes a lot of sense. So basically you had to make a decision to put yourself and your children first before a job. Yep. So yep. Should I even record you? Alright, so Emily, my next question is how do you find Kuwait? What were your first impressions? And then I know you're leaving, but would you, if things were different, would you stay in the country?
Oh yeah.
Or that type of thing? So just kind of give me a little bit on that.
Yes. So yes, I would definitely 100% live here for a long time. I've always loved the Middle East, and it was such a relief, and mostly because of you. Which is so funny. She interviewed me, she won't remember, but she was part of the interview panel.
I did! I was on the interview!
And so I stalked her online, and she didn't know. I kept searching for videos about moving to Kuwait.
On. Oh, come on. Hey. Hey. We're at Palm Palace Restaurant.
Palm Palace from Kuwait. But from Tunisia. Hi.
From Tunisia. All right, what's your name?
Khalid.
Khalid. That's our waiter.
Hi.
Thank you. Yes. I'm sorry, we got lost in the sauce. But so back to the regularly scheduled program. So you interviewed, and I was on the panel. It's so funny.
And it was mostly because of her. I was like, oh, she got her hair done. There must be a black lace hair for hair there. There has to be something that makes sense. If she's there and she's looking cute, I'm sorry, I'm going. I'm alright with that. And so that was what made me come here, and everyone was so nice during the interview, and I was like, not bad, I'm going.
Okay.
I made up my mind, but I didn't even look for another job. That was we made up our minds that night.
Because then the next question I would have had.
All right, so now my next question for both of y'all is, what is your experience like being in Kuwait as a black woman or a woman of color, however you want to? I identify as black.
Yes.
So, and my pronouns are she and her
And black
and
her.
black. So Keva, let's start with you because you've been here the longest. So what's your experience like as a black woman?
I mean, to be honest, it hasn't been horrible because I've met a lot of different people and a lot of different, I've got to know a lot of different cultures in terms of, we've gotten to know the Indian culture really well. We've gotten to know like the British cultures. Of course, you know, you see it on TV or whatever.
Right.
But living with people that are having that, the same experience as you.
Right.
And I think that's an upside for us living together as well. Because the same lived experience cannot be shared when you talk to somebody who hasn't done that.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so now, like, as far as being your treatment, do you think you're treated better here as a black woman? Because, like, for me, I feel like I don't want to say that I'm treated so much better, but I do feel like I'm treated better. Like, I feel like I have more respect. And don't get me wrong, like, people do the cat calls and stuff, like, and we are sexualized here, but I think, you know, women are sexualized in general or whatever. But I feel like ultimately, like, as a black person or whatever, I feel like I'm treated more equally here. I feel like I have more, like, respect or whatever. And so, like, do you share similar experiences, either of you? Like, what do you think, Emily?
Yeah, I've never had any well, I've had one experience, and I didn't understand what that experience was. I was at the mall and I had this Arab lady follow me, like, and she came so close to me and she was like, "Are you black?" I'm like, "Girl, are you blind?" But no.
But for real.
She followed me around and asked me if I was black. And I didn't understand if she meant, am I African black?
Right.
Or am I skin black?
No. I think she was trying to ask you if you were
if I'm
African.
African black.
And she just walked off into a store. So I was like, yeah, I think so. And
See, because I told y'all in one of my earlier videos, it is a difference in being an African black here versus being an other black. So, like, yeah, it is a completely different experience based off of those things. So Kevin, now your experience, like, what do you think?
For me, I'm from a black country, so to me it's similar. Like you said, you get the cat calls, you get the not understanding which black you are.
Right.
But other than
like,
that,
the
racism is not a thing here. It's not.
It's not.
It really isn't.
I've
So, yeah,
actually
it's-
never felt more comfortable. Like, I've had more race experiences in Canada than I have here.
Right. Yeah.
I've never really had to worry about being black.
Black here, yeah. It's like you literally can just go and just kind of be.
And you can go on the bus, public transport, anything, as a woman by yourself, and
Be
no one's
perfectly
gonna be
safe.
no one's gonna bother you.
Right.
No, I am a constant bus traveler, like by myself on the bus, go into places like Sabah Salam, all these different farther away from where I actually live.
I go to my bula by
Yeah,
myself.
yeah. So, and I mean, the thing is, you just have to tell someone where you're going when you're on the bus, only because the bus drivers are a bit reckless. And it isn't because I'm a woman. It's just the way it is, because they don't stop. It's like a rolling stop.
Y'all already seen my bus experience. And y'all know my sense of direction is trash. Like, it's really trash. And then on top of that, the buses don't stop. Like, you literally, it's a rolling stop. So you literally have to like get off the bus and like run at the same time, because if not, then half of your body will still be on the bus and half of it will be on the sidewalk.
Like living in Nigeria. Kind of like
No, but
living
we've
in
heard
Nigeria.
horror stories about people. When I went downtown to Mubarak here, what did I say to y'all? I'm on the bus going downtown. Why? Because if they roll over me,
Then you know,
need to
you
know
know where
the
to find me.
location.
The roadkill on the side.
Because they
Just
ain't
come
stop.
kill me off the
They
road.
are not
They
going
don't
to stop.
Like, they really
Oh
don't
my
stop.
And they mad at you for taking
All right, so I guess my last question is, and I know this kind of went really fast, but we're at Palm Palace restaurant in Salmia. So we had dinner and everything, and we're just kind of wrapping it up. Tonight's Emily's last night in Kuwait. She flies out tomorrow. So my last question is, like, what is your favorite thing about Kuwait and your least favorite thing about Kuwait?
Favorite thing about Kuwait would be it's a bunch of things in one. It's Talabat,
Ooh.
which is where you could get food, cosmetics, drugs, whatever. Not those drugs, but
Not those drugs.
just medication, anything.
At your fingertips.
And it just comes to your door, and they almost never want to see you, so it's not like they're waiting for a tip or something. You could get a tip, but they'll be out. They'll just drop your stuff and run. Like,
Right.
My husband always asks, like, is it kind of forbidden to tip people here? Why do they keep running? Because he wants to go back, get a KD and get that, and they're like, gone. Why? But that's my best thing, Taliban.
Okay.
My worst thing here has to be, apart from the traffic, I think that's the driving is everyone's worst nightmare.
Yeah, the driving sucks.
But just having to wait so long to get stuff like medication at the hospital.
Okay.
You have to wait so long. Take a number, wait, check, go to this room, go to that room. Like, there's a lot of red tape around getting things done.
Yeah, and it's a lot of extra steps. Like, if you ever go to the hospital here, like she said, you have to take a number, and then you go to one register, you give them the prescription, and then they give you another number, then you got to go to another counter for them to tell you about the prescription. Then after they tell you about the prescription, then you got to go to
so
another counter
painful.
to actually get the prescription.
Yeah.
And while the prescriptions, if you have insurance, are usually very inexpensive, it's still just, it's a little hassle to be able to get it. So yeah, it does take a little longer. So
Another good thing is nails and hair. You can actually just get yourself your hair did and your nails
pampered.
and pampered.
all in one
I
spot.
haven't done the spa experience yet. I didn't do any hammam stuff, but it's so good. Like, I've been referred to by actually these two to all the places that I've been, and it's so easy. It's so comfortable. It's not like some weird place in the corner of nowhere, but it's so nice. You're taken care of, and you're respected. You get your stuff done and leave without problems. So yeah, accessibility is the word.
All right. Wait, what was the question?
takeaways.
Your favorite thing and your least favorite thing about Kuwait?
My favorite thing is community, because not only have I built a community with CrossFit, with yoga, with all the different activities that I do, I've also built a community in the house where I live. So that's one really positive thing, and the people here are actually really helpful.
Right.
And really genuinely wanting to get to know you if you need help, if you need anything. Oh, do you want to just come to our house for dinner? Come. And they just feed you, and it's just genuine.
Right.
Like,
They don't want anything in return.
they don't
no
want
strings attached.
nothing. Least favorite thing though is, and I mean, I haven't had the same experience as you do with like medicine. I've actually had a different experience where, like, I went to Dar al Shifa the other night at 7. I was out of there by 8:30.
Yeah, it depends on the day.
It depends too.
and the
Yeah.
issues.
It's fast with the hospital
Yeah.
itself, like getting to see the doctor and everything is fast. It's just getting your medication.
True.
Like
True.
I spent almost an hour just moving from insurance room to this counter to that counter and this. Like I just want some medication, please. I would die before it's given to me. Like,
Yeah.
can I have one last pill? No, you have to take a number and stand in line.
So the thing that I don't like is just, and it's only sometimes that it happens, it's just the lack of courtesy sometimes. Like, it'll be like someone will just cut in line because
Right,
they
yeah.
just
Just because.
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, I was standing here.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Ma'am. And then the whole, they look at you like
Like you
you
did
have the
something.
problem.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
am I in crazy town? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I don't like. It's just, dude, common courtesy. Open the door for someone, or we're in a line. Don't come to try and I mean, we're not talking about cars. We're talking about a person, human body, moving you out the way, like.
Like,
Dude.
don't touch this up.
But yeah, other than that, it's been a good experience. I remember my first night, I went down to downtown Kuwait by myself on the bus. Like, who does that in a new town the first night they're here? Nobody. But that's things I'm gonna miss.
Well, I guess that's about it. It's a lot louder out here than I anticipated it being, because they have the music blasting. I don't know if they saw us and was like, hey, party, or what. But so, yeah, this is our experiences in Kuwait. As you guys know, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. A lot of you guys follow me on Instagram already. Reach out and I'll do my best to answer them for you. So he's not a stalker. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. Emily, want to wish you the best, you and your family. Keva, I still got the rest of the year with you, so
Taking her with me.
yeah, so she's here for the rest of the year.
I am.
Emily's leaving tonight. Her and little Sea Owl over there, and her brother and her dad.
So
So
excited.
so yeah.
Loves cameras.
So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you inshallah.
Hi.
ايوه يلا
Hey!
Yeah.
She gave you a spin.
A whole twirl.